name is Bina. I have 5 kiddos, 10, 8, 6, 4, and a 1-year-old. And we are a family of 7 who homeschools. We live here in Houston, Texas. And I haven't recorded a recent video in a while. So that'd be really fun to do a family update, life update, I guess. So follow, 19, if you guys ever, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, follow, subscribe, do all the things. And thank you for watching. So it is the month of October. We are upon fall, and we actually start basically decorating for fall September 1st. And this year we started in August because we were in Disney. It was our very first time going to Disney World, and it was so fun, you guys. At first I was like, okay, 2 weeks is a very long time to be staying at Disney, and we road tripped it, and it was really cool. I have a video I did of different road trip essentials, and I loved it. When you go for your first time, I definitely recommend doing 2 days at each park, just so you can take your time, get to know everything, and figure out what you want to do. And we did the Genie Plus for basically every day that we were there, except for I think our last day, just because we were like, okay, we did everything, now let's just do the shows and shopping and stuff. Anyway, but I think our favorite park was Hollywood Studios. The little kids, our 10-year-old and our 6-year-old love the Tower of Terror at Hollywood Studios. I think they love the drop, not so much the scary aspect of it. And then I, of course, just loved everything princessy. I felt like a little girl. It was hilarious. I was like, oh my word, Princess Jasmine and Aladdin, and just having so much fun with it. The kiddos and we all did the Chef Mickey's to meet all the characters and get their signatures. For the girlies, we did, well, the whole family, Princess Brunch or something like that at the Royal Castle. I don't even know what it's called, you guys. But we met 4 or 5 of the princesses there. And that, I think, was at, oh my goodness, I don't even remember. Maybe Epcot or Animal Kingdom. And the only thing we didn't do at Animal Kingdom was the Avatar ride. And we were like, why is everyone basically just running to the left right when you walk in? And we just were not sure what they were doing. And finally, when we looked it up, we were like, oh, we're not gonna wait another hour for that, because it was like an individual thing. You had to pay for $20 each or something like that to ride that ride for a lightning lane, and we're like, we already spent money on the lightning lanes, blah blah blah. Anyway, so little baby Eden had fun. Of course, she had her meltdowns every day because she's not at home, and she's like, why am I in this stroller trying to go to bed? And it was really hard to breastfeed and basically walk on the go and try to get to everything. And I just wore really big shirts I could just put over her head and breastfeed on the go. When we were doing the rider swap, I would sit down and basically feed her, and then she just fed in between everything. And I just, even if she just fed, I was like, okay, I whipped it out, let's just do this again. And feed on the family rides. We fed on Peter Pan, Winnie the Pooh, all the things. So we had lots of fun, and then we went through Alabama and I got a mug. We collected the Starbucks mugs, and then when we went to all the parks, they did not have any more of the Starbucks mugs. We were just so completely surprised. One of our aunts has the mugs, and we were like, oh my word, we need to get it. Anyway, they didn't have them. But when we came back, we went right into basically taking 1 day off. I think it was Labor Day. And so we didn't do school. We kind of just eased into it, and then did all the laundry, did all the things, and we just kind of took it slow. The whole purpose of me wanting to homeschool and everything else is to have memories together, make it joyful and peaceful, and laugh together and learn based on what my child's interests are. And so I don't want to just do things to check off a box. I want to do things so that we're retaining and learning together. And so we were doing morning time, a loop, and then lessons. Then I put Eden down, then I do my individual lessons with the kids, and then everything else. And so with this new sort of schedule, there's Tuesdays we have gymnastics, and Wednesday we have church, and then Mondays is co-op, and Thursdays we have, during the day we have piano, and then we have soccer. And so we basically just are super busy during the week with just like these extracurricular activities. And so Mondays we do like 2 hours of like core subjects, and then Tuesdays is a full work day, and then Wednesdays again is like a full work day. Samuel has piano practice and that isn't too bad. And then Thursday is basically like we have an hour and a half of core subjects, and then we're doing school like in the car on the go. And then Fridays is another full work day. And so with morning time, I am no longer doing a historical figure every single day. I'm just putting that in our loop just so that we cover our loops. But I added these fables, and I want to do manners every single day, or just like how to be a good person, and like social intelligence every day, because I feel like we are going to so many things, and we're a part of a big church. We go to co-op. We're just like around a bunch of people that don't necessarily have the same views as we do when it comes to parenting or like how to interact. And so I just, like, oh, I guess we haven't talked about how to interact when, someone does this, or someone believes this way and we believe a different way, or, just like reminders, like quit trying to hug this poor little person. My child like asked to hug someone and just like, just like body space, make sure you don't, this is your bubble, that's their bubble. And, one of our kiddos is right now in a hugging stage, and he just like hugs and tackles at the same time. And it's just like every day, this is your body, stop touching other people's body. And at their Montessori school, it was like, may I please give you a hug? But now John Matthew's like, may I please touch you? So I'm like, no, let's just, sure, ask that, but like, can I please give you a hug would probably be better. Anyway, so that's where that is. So I tried to simplify kind of like what we're doing. And even today, it was Friday, we did our core subjects in the morning while I was reading some in morning time. I had them work on math, and then an art, and then spelling while I'm reading through our poem, our devotional, our Norse mythology, and the fables, and children's fate. So we're doing a lot of reading in the morning. It takes about like an hour or so. So they're able to fit in their like spelling UC work, which is a lot of like copy and dictation, which I just have them copy it and then underlining the vowel chunks and everything else. And so they do math in that during that time. And so after that, we've been doing loops. And so I've been kind of like, when we got back from Disney, I was just like, I'm not going to do loops just yet. We're just easing back into school, because I feel like you have to retrain your whole routine again, right? Like I feel like if I take more than 3 days off, it's like I have to retrain my kids of like, this is what you do. This is, this is where your cubby is, kind of a thing. And so I wasn't doing loop subjects the first week we came back. And the second week I was like, okay, let's just, work down our list. And we did that. And I really wanted to stay within that, like, 15-ish minute lesson. I feel like those short nuggets, like of, I forgot what Charlotte Mason calls it. And those short intervals of lessons is better than like an hour long or like 45 minutes long of composers or history or whatever subject you're doing. And so I really want to stick to that time frame. And so we've been just kind of working through the subjects, and me basically being okay personally with like, okay, it's not the end of the chapter, that's fine. Let's put our post-it note in here and move on. And I think for me as a person, I've always been like, we're not done with this chapter, we have to keep going, or it just didn't feel quite finished. And I just had to like be like, okay, we spent enough time on this, let's move on. We can get back to it, when it's that loop time again. And so that's what we've been doing with our loop subjects, and I'm okay with that. The kids are doing really good with their, soccer and everything else. And they kind of like going places and doing different things. And we went on a couple of field trips. We went to this place called Dewberry Farm here in oh my word, Bridgestone. I don't even know where. Brookshire. Maybe it's in Brookshire. That sounds right. And it was just so fun. I haven't been to a pumpkin patch in years, and neither have the kids. And it was just, actually, it wasn't even a pumpkin patch. It was, they were pumpkins, but like it wasn't like a traditional, like there were pumpkins everywhere. It was just fall decorated with like a couple pumpkin wall things. And they just had like some rides. They had a hay ride. They had a corn maze that wasn't very tall. It was like kid friendly. And then they just had just like full on old country kind of like rides that you could physically be hurt on. Like my kid was on this like trampoline air thing just out in the dirt jumping, and he was just like flopping around. It's like a trampoline jumping pad or whatever. But they had a blast, and it was just good to just kind of like, yeah, let's take the day off and do this really cool field trip. It's fall, might as well do it. And then I, for the life of me, have not been to the library here in Texas. We used to go all the time in Seattle, and I think for me, the amount of kids I have 5. Like I fill a whole entire SUV, right, of children. Like I basically need a bus. And me by myself taking my kids is like absolutely frightening. And so the last maybe like right before Disney, I was like, you know what, we're gonna go to the library, we're gonna figure it out. And I even had the address. I even asked our piano teacher, like, hey, because she used to be in education, and I was like, hey, where's the local library that you recommend going, you know, that you think is a really good one? And so I found it, and we were about to go, and of course, like we were at the playground, and this massive like thunderstorm, wind, rain thing started coming, and we're like, okay, we gotta go home, because of course, like, is the power gonna go out? Like Texas is weird, guys. And so we were just like, okay, we're not gonna go, and something came up. So literally my goal for the end of the year is to visit a local library and to like get my kids, you know, into just random books and that whole experience. That book, The Enchanted Hour, man, kids reading 7 to 9 books per day, like they are going to be more successful. Their IQ is higher, their critical thinking, logic, how to write, how to story, how to retell things, narrate, everything is just so much better than kids only reading 4 to 6 books. I forgot which study they quoted in that book, but that's one of the books I finished was The Enchanted Hour. It was a Kindle book, and I was like, this is taking me so long. And so it took me a while to finish it. And then, side note, another book that I just finished was called A Place to Belong. And you guys, this book is absolutely amazing. It talked about, I don't even know who, I forgot the woman who coined the term, you know, windows, mirrors, and sliding doors. But it's basically, you know, seeing yourself in what you're reading, right? Like there are so many more books out there of animals than there are of like brown, black children. And to me, that is just like obviously incredibly insane. And so I think I do a pretty good job of having books about not just the token Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, but I have books about all sorts of, you know, brown and black people. And we don't just read it for the, Black History Month. And same with, you know, Hispanic Heritage Month and everything else. We don't only read about these people during the month that we observe them, right? So we don't read about India only in August when it's their Independence Day either. And so I just, you know, that book was really sort of, I don't know, sort of like encouraging, like, yeah, okay, like I think our library books is a good one. And, you know, like I have a lot of books on women that are, you know, biography books, but I don't have, you know, a lot of men who are black or brown for my boys to be like married and looked to and like seen back in. And so anyway, it's just read the book, tell me what you think of it. If you have, let me know. There was a story of like, I think one of her daughters was reading like Little House on the Prairie or something like that. I don't even remember what the book was. And then the kid was, it was a book about a ballerina. And then she was like, oh, well, something like she couldn't be a ballerina or something like that. But then when she read a book about a brown ballerina, she was like, oh my word, I could be a ballerina. Like, look, it is someone who looks just like me. And anyway, it's just a really cool, I would recommend you guys reading that. It's such a great book. And, you know, go check your books and what you have on your shelf. Do you have any that are just like, you know, your token books? Do you have books that are like about other women and men who don't look like you? And even if, like, for me, even like, I have books about women in Russia, and I have books about women from Afghanistan and Nigeria and just all sorts of different places. And I want to just show my kids just like an all-around view of a person in this world living. And so that was just such a great book, you guys. I really enjoyed it. Another update is my parents are moving here to Texas. They sold their house and they are moving here close to us. We were house shopping and it was so cool to just see all these different houses here in our area. And you know, when I was first pregnant with Eden and we moved here, I basically didn't go outside for the whole entire time. Just the smell of Houston made me want to vomit. I don't know if there's like a certain like outside smell here, and like when someone goes outside and comes in, it smells like pollution. Like I don't even know what the smell is. It just smells awful. And so I feel like I'm just now exploring everything. And so we were just house shopping in our area, and I was like, oh my word, I didn't even know that this existed here in our city. And it was just cool to see the different neighborhoods. And we actually found a house here in our neighborhood, but then there were just too many updates that we needed to do for that house. And the kids could have just rode their bikes there, but that's okay. But they found a house that, you know, is a couple minutes away from us, and we're just so excited. The kids are so excited, and it's going to be so amazing to have them here for all the holidays and everything else, and to just, I don't know, just play games with and just having family around, I guess. So we're just super excited about that. And I think it'll be really good too to kind of like, you know, just have memories of cooking together. And I know for me, food is a big thing to pass down, and you know, our culture is a lot in the food. And you know, when my mom was here last time, I learned how to make fish curry and chicken curry and all these other different curries, you know, like a chutney and everything else. And it was really fun to learn, and I want to pass that down to my kids. You know, it's a part of their heritage and their culture. So that's really exciting. And anyway, this is just a little update of kind of where things are with us. And you guys, I'm legit recording this on the day that I'm publishing it, and I just feel like I've kind of been behind on what I want to do and my goals for this channel, but it's fine. Like my goal was to just publish every week, and I think I've obviously done that because I have done that, but you know, to be raw and real, and I hope that I'm doing that. And I know that some of you guys commented of like, you want to see my actual schedule and then kind of see how I time block and everything else, and I want to do that. I'm going to do that pretty soon because I think that'd be really helpful. Just, I think with me having 5 kids, if I just had 1 or 2, you know, I as an adult, the mom, the teacher, would probably be done in like 2 or 3 hours. But because there's so many of them and there's a little baby involved, I'm not done until like 4:30, and then at 4:30 we're like doing chores and, you know, cleaning up for the day so we can basically have dinner on a clear table, because it's homeschooling is so messy, you guys. It's just like things are like everywhere. And so I feel like I'm literally resetting everything. Anyway, so I think it'd be really helpful to do one of those videos, and then let me know down below if you guys want to see something like that's I haven't covered yet, or an update of where we are in a certain curriculum, or what we're going to be doing for Thanksgiving, or what we're going to be doing for Christmas. And I'm just so excited, guys. For Christmas we do like we just do lots of things. We used to go we didn't used to go. We had a home church in our church, and you know, we came from this really legalistic sort of church background, and then when we had our own church, it's like we even digressed even more strict, more whatever in certain things. And we didn't even celebrate Christmas. We didn't do decorations. We didn't do like anything. And it was just all sorts of, you know, this is probably for a different channel, but we just didn't do a lot of things. And so now that we obviously have unlearned some things, we now celebrate Christmas because we're, you know, Christian, and that's what we do. And so we just have tried to make it really special. And we do like different, you know, traditions and everything else. And it basically looks like Christmas, like threw up in our home. Hi, John Matthew. Mommy. And so I will have a video about Christmas pretty soon and what we're getting these little kiddos. But thank you so much for watching, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.